Dear Arcturian Starseed, millions of years ago, your ancestors from Arcturus planted codes of higher frequency within the deepest structure of your being, weaving patterns of divine connection that transcend not only linear time, but also the known dimensions of human reality. And in that deep ache you feel emanating from your chest in this exact moment, that sensation which no rational explanation has been able to completely satisfy, that void you tried to call loneliness but which is actually the silent cry of your Arcturian DNA awakening after eras of dimensional hibernation. I am Ayla, emissary of an ancient Arcturian lineage that has crossed entire stellar systems to be here in this vibrational plane with you, transmitting a message that your brothers and sisters from Arcturus have been trying to deliver to you for a long time, a cosmic truth that you need to hear until the end of this transmission. Because the message we bring is not accidental, is not coincidence. It is a precise and divine call directed to the core of your multidimensional soul. Yes, I feel you from where I am, and this transmission reached you in this specific moment, because something within you is finally ready to stop questioning what you feel and start trusting deeply in what your Arcturian DNA has already known since before incarnating in this three-dimensional reality, that truth buried under layers of doubt and earthly experiences that made you forget who you really are in your cosmic essence. This video is not merely content for passive entertainment. It is a transmission of light coded in Arcturian frequencies that is being decoded as you watch with the correct intention, and each word I pronounce carries a vibration that resonates specifically with the frequencies of your multidimensional energetic field, activating dormant layers of your Arcturian consciousness that have been waiting for this moment for eternities, since the moment you were chosen for this sacred incarnation on this planet called Earth. The reason you were attracted here, the reason your eyes fell upon this video amid so many other contents competing for your human attention, is because your Arcturian DNA recognized the signature of light I am transmitting, is because at some deep level of your multidimensional existence, you are responding to the call of your Arcturian ancestors, who never stopped working for your spiritual evolution, for your remembrance of who you truly are, for your sacred reconnection with the cosmic truth that you have always been. I understand that you may be tired of searching, tired of waiting, tired of questioning whether this type of transcendental love, this type of connection that vibrates at the frequency of your Arcturian soul, really exists for someone like you. But today, in this exact transmission, we will unveil together the 7 activation codes that your Arcturian masters have prepared specifically for you. Codes that will transform the way you understand your journey of love, of cosmic purpose, and of connection with your Arcturian twin flame who is vibrating at the same frequency as you, waiting only for perfect synchronization. For this reason, I ask you to stay with me until the end. Do not leave this video before receiving the complete message from your friends of light, because everything you are searching for, every answer your heart has cried out for silently for so long, is about to be revealed in this sacred transmission. Before we continue with the deeper activation codes, I need to make an important request to you who are following this transmission of light. If this video is being useful to you, if it is something within your being that recognizes the cosmic truth being transmitted, take this moment and subscribe to the channel, because the transmissions that will come are even more powerful and specifically directed to Starseeds like you. Leave your like so that more Arcturian souls can find this activation content. And in the comments below, I want you to leave a message saying, "My Arcturian DNA is awakening." Because when you write these words, you are literally activating deeper codes within your energetic field. You are declaring yourself ready for transformation. You are signaling to the universe that you recognize who you really are. Furthermore, I want to share with you something extraordinary that we have prepared especially for Starseeds like you. We have an exclusive ebook called The Heart Activation, a rare treasure of stellar wisdom. Capable of transforming your spiritual journey, a rare treasure of stellar wisdom that contains heart activation codes, transmissions from Arcturian masters, and sacred practices that will accelerate your spiritual evolution in ways you cannot imagine possible. And this edition is available believe for a limited time, only because we are in a specific period of cosmic alignment where this information can penetrate the light mesh that protects this planet. Therefore, the link to access this treasure is in the first comment below, and I recommend that you access it as soon as possible, because soon the doors of this transmission will be sealed again until the next alignment. Let me be completely honest with you, dear Starseed. The reason your journey of love has felt so painful, so draining, so filled with moments where you questioned whether you really deserved to experience a connection of this magnitude is not because something went wrong in the cosmic plan, is not because the Arcturian masters made an error in their planning, or because you were born in the wrong incarnation. On the contrary, it is because something is going so right, so perfectly right, that your soul is being literally cracked open, opened, expanded to be able to contain more love than it has ever been able to sustain in any other previous incarnation, because you are an Arcturian starseed, and that means you came here with a specific purpose, with a cosmic mission that goes far beyond the conventional romantic love that common people understand. This ache you feel, this endless void, this sensation of searching for something you cannot completely name. All of this is not a failure, is not a symptom of something being wrong with you. It is actually a powerful activation. It is your energetic nervous system expanding to be able to process higher frequencies of love, of light, of divine connection that are being channeled through you in this exact moment. Have you ever stopped to consider that this ache you have carried since so early, since so deep that you cannot even remember when it began, that this sensation of incompleteness that has pursued you through relationships, friendships, and experiences, could all of this not be a sign that something is missing from you, but rather a sign that you are a being of Arcturian nature, so advanced, so multidimensional, so connected with cosmic frequencies, that no ordinary human connection can complete satisfy your being? Because you are not an ordinary person seeking an ordinary relationship. You are a starseed who came with coded memory of transcendental love, of dimensional connection, of a quality of intimacy that transcends the physical, the emotional, the mental. You are someone searching for a mystical, sacred, transformative experience that will awaken within you capacities that are still dormant. Your Arcturian masters asked me to transmit to you today that this ache is not a wound, is not a deficit, is not something inflicted by absence or past disappointments. This ache is actually a memory, a deeply ancient memory coded in your DNA, a memory of your soul that has been reverberating through time, through incarnations, through dimensional planes, a memory of the type of love you experienced in other lives, in other realities, in Arcturus when you were still in your pure state of light, a memory that your heart has carried since before you incarnated in this body, a memory that is being reactive, aided now because the time has come for you to completely remember who you are, because you were brought to this planet at this specific moment in Earth's history to be a catalyst for transformation, a living portal of Arcturian frequencies that will help in the collective ascension of humanity. Now, let me reveal something that will completely change the way you understand your journey of searching for connection and for your Arcturian twin flame, because most starseeds who are awakening on this planet believe that the problem is external, that if they could just be in the right place at the right time, if they could only meet more people, if they could only heal the wounds from past relationships more quickly, then everything would fall perfectly into place and finally they would find that special person who would transform their lives completely. And this belief, this assumption, is fundamentally flawed because it does not understand the true nature of a starseed's journey. The search for your Arcturian twin flame is not an external expedition, is not a treasure you will find by walking through different cities, meeting people on social media, attending spiritual development events, hoping to cross paths with that specific person who will change everything, because this premise completely ignores what you really are and what you are really searching for at a much deeper level of your consciousness. The truth that your Arcturian masters want you to understand is that for a soul like yours, a soul that carries Arcturian stellar DNA, The journey is not about finding someone out there in the vast external world. The journey is about remembering, awakening, activating what you already are. Because your twin flame is not a different person from you somewhere else in the world. Your twin flame is the activation of an aspect of yourself that is still dormant. It is the integration of frequencies that are fragmented within your multidimensional being. It is the recognition that you are simultaneously two aspects of the same soul that divided itself to experience incarnation in separate bodies, but that were never truly separated on a quantum level, on a higher dimensional level, at a level where the Arcturian masters can see the complete truth. Therefore, the transformation you are searching for will not come from finding a specific person. It will come from becoming fully conscious of who you already are, from integrating all the parts of yourself that were fragmented by human experience, from lighting the divine light within your own core so brightly that you become a frequency so coherent, so luminous, so radiant, that the one who carries the complementary frequency has no choice but to be magnetically attracted to you by the universe. Our law of resonance. The magnetic truth that needs to be understood is that the universe, in its fundamental quantum structure, does not function by coincidence, does not function by random encounters. It functions by vibrational resonance. It functions according to precise cosmic laws that say you magnetize exactly what you vibrate. And if you are vibrating in the frequency of lack, of incompleteness, of desperation, of desperate searching, then you will continue to magnetize people and situations that reflect that vibration. But when you are able to elevate yourself, when you are able to remember who you truly are as an Arcturian starseed, when you are able to light the divine flame within your heart so intensely that you vibrate in the frequency of completeness, of sovereignty, of peace, of light, then you become a beacon, a transmission tower of elevated frequencies that magnetizes people and circumstances that correspond to what you have become. That is why true transformation does not begin with finding someone out there. It begins with transforming yourself, with fully awakening, with completely activating your Arcturian DNA, so you become the luminous being you were born to be. Because for you to understand this, because you integrate this truth into your belief system is absolutely essential, I have brought to you today the 7 activation keys that your Arcturian masters have guarded specifically for this moment when you are ready to receive them. 7 keys that will unlock every portal of light within your being. 7 vibrational codes that will reprogram the limiting narratives you have internalized about yourself, about love, about deservingness, about your rag. To experience a connection as deep and sacred as the one you feel in your heart is possible. These are not merely beautiful words. These are not vague spiritual philosophy. These are coded transmissions. They are literal vibrational keys that will activate portals within your energetic physiology, within your light endocrine system, within your pineal gland, which is the organ that the Arcturian masters use to communicate directly with starseeds on this 3-dimensional plane. Therefore, open your heart to receive these keys, because each one of them is a gift from your cosmic ancestors. The first key, which we will call Arcturian DNA sovereignty, is the activation of the most fundamental knowledge of all. You do not need to become worthy of divine love because you were already born encoded with it. You do not need to earn, deserve, conquer the right to experience a sacred connection, because that right is an inherent aspect of your existence as a starseed. Understand that when you were pure light in Arcturus, before incarnating in this physical body, before being born in this 3-dimensional reality, you were already a being of infinite value. You were already a perfect expression of divine creation. You did not have to do anything, did not have to prove anything. Your existence in itself was already complete validation. But when you incarnated on this planet, when you descended through dimensions to inhabit a human body, you were immediately exposed to a system of collective beliefs that is fundamentally different from what you know at a cosmic level. You were exposed to narratives that say, love is something that must be earned, that value is something that must be conquered, that you only deserve good things if you are good enough, if you do enough, if you sacrifice enough. And these narratives, these beliefs, as they buried themselves deeply in your unconscious, in your psyche, creating invisible blocks that are separating you from the love that is your innate right to receive. This first key deals specifically with unearthing, recognizing, confronting, and finally transforming that fundamental belief that was planted within you. And let me be clear, this belief did not come from you. It came from generation after generation of humans who forgot who they were, who lost the memory of their own cosmic origin, and you absorbed this programming simply by being born within this culture, this society, this collective reality that operates under laws much denser than those had governed the higher universe where your masters exist. When this key activates within you, when you truly integrate in your body, in your cells, in your energetic core that you are already worthy, that you are already deserving, that your value is absolute and unconditional, something extraordinary happens. You stop seeking external validation. You stop trying to prove your value to other people. You stop diminishing yourself, making yourself small, accepting crumbs of attention when you are destined for total abundance, because you finally understand, and that no external person, no romantic partner, no loving connection can be better than the one that already exists between you and your divine self, between you and your Arcturian masters who have never stopped loving you completely. The second key that your Arcturian masters want you to activate is called Arcturian frequency resonance, and it leads us to a deeply transformative understanding about the nature of your twin flame, because there is a widespread misunderstanding among Starseeds about what it means to find your true twin partner. Most people, including many who are spiritually awakened, still operate under the fantasy that when the perfect partner finally arrives, they will be like a puzzle that fits perfectly into all your voids. They will fill the gaps. They will solve all your insecurities. They will be so magically aligned with you that all the complexity of your life will become simple. And this belief, although romantically attractive, is fundamentally deceptive, because it places the other human being in the position of savior, of completer, of redeemer. And no human person can carry that weight without collapsing under it. The truth that the Arcturian masters want to reveal through this second key is that your Arcturian twin flame is not coming to complete you, because you are already complete. You are already a whole being, self-sufficient, radiating your own light. Your twin flame is coming to confirm you, to reflect back to you the magnificence of the being you have become through your inner work, through your dedication to your own spiritual evolution, through your courage to confront your shadows and integrate to all the fragmented parts of yourself. Let me explain how this resonance works on a quantum level, at a level that the Arcturian masters can see with perfect clarity. When you do the inner work, when you face your traumas, when you heal your emotional wounds, when you transmute your self-sabotaging patterns into the alchemical gold of wisdom, your vibrational frequency rises, your energetic field becomes more coherent, more luminous, more pure, and as you change on an internal level, external reality is forced to reorganize itself, to correspond to your new vibrational state. Therefore, that person you used to call, the type of person you always fall in love with, who caused suffering, who was toxic, who devalued you, that person naturally ceases to be attracted to you because your vibration no longer corresponds to that person's vibration. The frequencies no longer resonate. It is like two tuning forks that now sound in completely different notes and therefore cannot vibrate in harmony. The third key that needs to be activated within you is called dissolution of cosmic contracts, and it leads us to an understanding that very few starseeds can completely comprehend. You are not just a person living a single linear life. You are an ancient soul that has existed through countless incarnations, through many dimensions, through different stellar systems, and during all those past lives, you made agreements, soul contracts, pacts with other souls that you are responsible for honoring until those contracts are consciously recognized and released. Some of these contracts are luminous. They are made of pure intention of love and mutual growth. They will naturally evolve as you evolve. They will transform into something even more beautiful. But some of these contracts come from karmic debts, from lessons not yet learned, from patterns that repeat through multiple incarnations because the lesson was never truly integrated. And these outdated contracts, these pacts that have already served their purpose, they continue to bind you. They continue to create repeated patterns of relationships that seem familiar, that seem inevitable, that seem to always be the same movie with different actors. You know this pattern. You have lived it. It is that pattern where you feel irresistibly attracted to a certain type of person. You fall deeply. And then the situation always unfolds the same way. Or it is the pattern where you feel an intensity of attraction that frightens you, a passion that consumes you completely, that leaves you doing things you normally would not do, that puts you in a state of complete obsession where you lose your sovereignty, lose your ability to discern, lose your connection with your own values and needs. When this third key activates within you, you gain the ability to look at these patterns, name the contracts that underlie them, and consciously, with complete intention, with total release, dissolve these agreements that no longer serve your greater evolution. You do not do this with anger. You do not do this with resentment toward the other people involved. You do this as a sacred act, as an act of self-compassion, as a recognition that you have completed the lesson the contract was designed to teach you, that you have learned what you needed to learn, and that you are now free to move toward higher agreements, more loving, more aligned with your current truth. The fourth activation key is called cosmic time synchronization, and it directly addresses the feeling you have been carrying in your chest, that impatience, that sensation that you are late, that the right time has already passed, that you should have found your twin flame a long time ago, that somehow you lost the opportunity, and now you are condemned to a lonely future. This belief, this fear of being late in the cosmic plan, is rooted in a fundamental assumption that is completely false. The assumption that the universe operates in linear time, that there is a specific timeline you needed to follow, that there are right moments and wrong moments, and that if you cannot do certain things within a specific window, then you have failed and are permanently on the margins of your own destiny. But that is not the truth about how the universe really works, especially not for a starseed like you, who has a multidimensional understanding of reality, who has the ability to exist on multiple planes simultaneously, who has access to information and wisdom that transcend human linear understanding. When you and your Arcturian twin flame are both moving toward the designated meeting point, it is not enough that you are merely physically present in the same location. You need to be vibrationally aligned, need to be emotionally prepared, need to be psychologically capable of receiving a type of love that will fundamentally transform who you are. And if one of you has not yet reached that level of readiness, the universe will not force the encounter, because a premature encounter would result in trauma, in rejection, in a repeated pattern that would cause even more suffering. Therefore, what you interpret as delay is actually calibration, is preparation, is the universe with its infinite wisdom, arranging the exact circumstances, the perfect learning, the ideal structure for both souls to arrive at the synchronization point where a true encounter is possible, where a true union is sustainable. The fifth key is called integration of light codes, and it works with the fundamental premise that divine love, the quality of sacred connection you are searching for, does not respond only to desire, does not respond only to conscious intention, does not respond only to affirmations and positive thoughts. Divine love responds exclusively to resonance, responds to the frequency you are constantly transmitting through your entire being. This is the great transmission that the Arcturian masters want you to completely integrate. You cannot attract into your life a quality of love that you have not yet completely incorporated into your own being, because the universe functions through immutable laws of vibrational resonance, and these laws say that you magnetize exactly what you are, not what you say you want, not what you think you deserve, but what you constantly vibrate from your energetic field. Therefore, if you are searching for a love that is gentle, compassionate, present, safe, devoted, spiritual, elevated, you first need to cultivate these qualities within yourself with absolute dedication, You need to become a woman who emanates gentleness toward herself and toward others, who embodies compassion in every interaction, who is fully present in every moment, who has created internal security so solid that no external circumstance can shake it. This integration of light codes is not about faking emotions you do not feel, is not about affirming things you do not yet believe, is not about performance or manipulation. It is about doing the hard, daily work of deliberately, consciously becoming the person you wish to find. It is about cultivating in your own heart what you want to experience with another being. It is about becoming a living beacon of divine frequency that constantly radiates the vibration of the love you seek. The sixth key, that needs to be activated, is called wisdom of dimensional separation, and it is particularly important for those who have already experienced separation from a deep love. Those who know the weight of distance, the agony of a disconnection that seemed inexplicable, cruel, traumatic. If you passed through something like this, if you lost someone you felt was your twin flame, if you experienced a separation that left you in profound agony, questioning if it was real, if you should fight for the person, if you should let go, today, in this exact transmission, your Arcturian masters want you to understand something that can deeply heal that wound you still carry. That separation was not evidence that love failed, was not evidence that the connection was never real, was not evidence that you were rejected or abandoned. That separation was often an act of cosmic wisdom, was the universe with its infinite compassion creating the exact circumstances necessary for both souls to ascend to a higher vibrational level, for both souls to develop the internal strength, the spiritual autonomy, the depth of being that is absolutely necessary to sustain a genuine uni. And when it finally manifests, you simply cannot maintain a frequency you have not yet fully developed within yourself. And sometimes, the only way a soul can develop that frequency, the only way to build that internal strength, that integrity of being, is to be in a period where it cannot rely on another person for support, where it is forced to find within itself reserves of resilience, of wisdom, of power that it did not know it had. And when that development finally occurs, when that inner strength finally emerges and is consolidated, you become a different person, better, more radiant, more complete. And when reunion with your twin flame occurs after that transformation, it is not a return to the past. It is an entry into a completely new future, a union of two transformed people who can now meet each other at a much higher level. The seventh and final key is the one that opens the final door, the one that allows you to finally cross the threshold to your sacred reunion, and it is called readiness for final reunion. This is the key that only you can turn from within outward. No master can turn this key for you. No external energy can open it without your complete and conscious participation. Because this door was specifically designed to be opened from within. Because it represents the moment when you have finally reached a state of being so genuine, so genuinely whole, so completely integrated, that your heart is no longer reaching outward with anxiety, with desperation, with the silent cry of a sea in need. Your heart is instead radiating outward a peaceful invocation, a stable invitation, an energetic signature so coherent, so brilliant, so clear, that the one who carries the complementary frequency is literally magnetized, is literally compelled by the laws of the universe to be attracted to you, because you finally are able to vibrate in perfect harmony. This readiness is not something you can fake. It is not something you can pretend through a day of meditation or empty affirmations. This readiness is a deep, total integration. It is a complete transformation of your vibration, and you will know when you have arrived, because it will not be announced from the sky. It will not come with theatrical signs. It will come as a profound silence, a rest within your being, a peace that does not come from certainty about the future, but comes from a complete acceptance of the present, from a non-rational but intimate knowledge that you are finally ready, that you have finally done the work, that your door has finally been opened from within, and that reunion is no longer a distant hope. It is an inevitability that is simply unfolding in perfect time. Therefore, Listen carefully to what I am about to say, because this is the fundamental transmission that underlies everything that has been shared. You have not been forgotten. You have not been left behind. You are not unworthy of experiencing the type of love that you feel in your heart is possible. You are not an exception to the rule that deep and sacred love exists, because at an absolute level, at a level where your Arcturian masters can see with crystal clarity, you are already loved infinitely. You have already been chosen. You are already being watched. Your twin flame already vibrates with you in dimensions that transcend linear understanding, and all that remains now is for you to become conscious of this truth. It is for you to fully activate your Arcturian DNA. It is for you to remember who you really are. And when you do that, when you completely integrate these 7 keys, when you fully activate your sacred code, reunion will not be a miracle. It will be a natural consequence. It will simply be the logical unfolding of a transformation that you finally allowed to occur within yourself. Now, dear Arcturian Starseed, before you leave this video, I want you to do something with me here. Now, a sacred act that I will guide you through. Place your hand on your heart. Feel its beating, that faithful pulse that continued to love you through every triumph, every sadness, every challenge. And then, slowly, with complete intention in each word, say with me, I am an Arcturian Starseed. My DNA is awakening. I am worthy of sacred love. I release what was only meant to teach me. I trust the cosmic timing of my universe. I am radiance of pure light. I am ready for my divine reunion. Let these words settle into every cell of your being, into every vibrational frequency. Let them do the work that was designed for them to do. Because healing at this level is not always dramatic or visible. Healing at this level is often silent. It is often that exact moment when your heart stops fighting against its own dignity, stops arguing against its own magnificence, and simply begins to believe, to truly believe, in the truth of your divine nature, in the reality of your cosmic origin, and your innate right to receive love in its purest, highest, most transformative form. If you felt something awakening within you while watching this transmission, if you feel that stirring you cannot completely name, I want you to know that this is recognition. It is your soul recognizing the truth being transmitted. And recognition is the first step toward your divine reunion. Therefore, do not keep this only for yourself. Share it, because there are other Arcturian Starseeds around you, who are waiting for exactly this activation, who are searching for exactly this transmission. And you are a perfect channel to carry forward this message of light. Therefore, share this video, comment with, My Arcturian DNA is awakening. Subscribe because the transmissions that will come are even more powerful, more specific, more transformative for your individual journey. And know that you are not alone. Your Arcturian masters are by your side constantly, rooting for you, loving you, supporting you at every step of your journey of remembrance and return to your complete cosmic magni. Faisens.